everybody, Weeb Rabbit here, and today I'm checking out a game called Taxi Chaos on the Nintendo Switch. Now, the reason I'm checking this game out is quite simple. I loved Crazy Taxi. I have history with the game. Back in the arcades, you know, Peter Piper, Chuck E. Cheese, etc. I used to have a lot of fun playing that game. When it got ported to the when it got ported to the Sega Dreamcast, I used to play a bunch of that game. And when it was on the Nintendo GameCube, it was more of like a spin-off or whatever, but when it was called Simpsons Road Rage, you know, same gameplay style, but with the Simpsons skin on it. Once again, I used to love playing that game. There's just something about the Crazy Taxi formula that I think is really charming. I just think it's so simple and so fun. Basically, it's about, you know, driving around, picking up customers, dropping them off where they need to go, and on your way there, you're just zooming by everything, crashing into everything, you know, just doing tricks and stunts and all sorts of stuff, just trying to get to point A to point B as quick as possible. And that's basically the gameplay, and it's just really simple. So yeah, guys, I am going to check out Taxi Chaos. It was a bit pricey, but I'm hoping that it's at least somewhat close to, you know, Crazy Taxi. We will see. So without further ado, let's jump in. Alrighty, guys, actually I am back. I checked out the game for a little bit, and yeah, the style of this video is going to be a bit different than usual. Usually what I do is I'm playing something for the first time, and you guys are going to see my reaction to it. Here, I went through some of the modes, and yeah, this game, I'm just going to say it now, it is not very impressive. And I'm going to kind of talk about why. So yeah, instead, how about we jump into each of the modes and I'll comment on them so you can see. I mean, there's some good, but there's a lot of bad. So you guys will see what I mean in a moment, all right? So first things first, how about I show you guys arcade mode. So arcade mode, if you guys have played Crazy Taxi, it's basically the main mode where you're given a certain amount of time and you're basically told, hey, you have, let's say 5 minutes. Deliver as many people as possible, make as much money as you can for the leaderboard. So it starts off fine enough. Okay, you can pick from this old guy Vinny or this, you know, hipster looking girl named Cleo. So while it kind of sucks that there's only 2 characters, you know, at least they're very different. One's kind of like an old school grandpa, one's like a kind of young hipster girl. And from what I saw, they do have different, you know, dialogue, so that's kind of cool, right? So right there, that's not too bad. I didn't look in our car. It looks like there's more cars to unlock. So once again, that's not too bad. It is kind of cool being able to unlock cars, like no complaint there. But that's kind of, you know, that's kind of maybe where my praise stops. You guys will see what I mean in a moment. Alright, so getting into the gameplay, as you can see, very simple, similar to the actual game. It's said to, you know, to try to pick up as many people as possible before my shift ends. So that part on that front, it is like a Crazy Taxi game, you know, it is copying the formula. However, one of the things you might notice as soon as the game starts is that the game is very ugly, alright? I'm not usually one to sit there and kind of just make fun of an art style, I get it. You know, maybe indie studios can't always afford the best look or whatever. But I would say this is really, really bad, alright? For a game that costs $35 on Nintendo Switch, I think the appearance is laughable. Like, dude, this looks like it should be a mobile game. That's how bad it looks. So yeah, that's one of the things. I mean, look at the models, look at the assets, look at the draw distance and stuff. For $35, I would hope the game looks way better. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. Another thing that I don't really like, if you can kind of see the little dialogue bubbles down there, I don't like that the characters are always talking. That's something I don't know. I just like the original Crazy Taxi. Oh my god, hold on. It's kind of a weird one. Come on. She was really right there. Come on, man. Okay, whatever. So one of the things, like I said, I don't like the dialogue. I liked it in the original game. You know, there would be some catchphrases that were yelled out every so often, but that was it. You know, it was just catchphrases, maybe a few lines here and there with the people telling you where they wanted to go, but that was it. Here, if you look, they're just always talking. The characters are always talking, and they don't have very interesting things to say. Like, they're just being either like really snobbish or like really hipster, or, you know, your character, you know, he, like the old guy, he's trying to kind of be funny by, you know, oh, you know, he's kind of, you know, an out of touch guy that he doesn't know about technology and he doesn't know what these young people are talking about, that sort of thing. Like he tries to be funny. But yeah, just look at this. It's just like this business guy being snobby, and your character is just dealing with it. And like, it's just so weird having this ongoing dialogue at all times, you know what I mean? So that's another thing that I'm like not very fond of. And finally, something I ran into earlier, I don't know if anybody noticed, but I do not like the collision and like hitboxes in this game. In the original Crazy Taxi, your car would always be rushing forward, and it would always be plowing through everything. I feel like it was doing that. That way the gameplay would not come to a stop. You know, you were just always plowing through everything nonstop. Here, though, if you notice, if you guys saw earlier, your car can get stuck on the geometry and can get pinned under other cars and stuff. So I do not like that. I just think it's like really annoying, and it really, really slows the gameplay down. Not only that, but I feel like in the original Crazy Taxi as well, if you saw me trying to pick up that person right there, you didn't always have to be like exact with stopping in their space. Like as long as you were kind of in their space, that would be good enough. As you can tell here, I had to like stop right in the space. I had to like, really, really like touch the hitbox, because if not, it does not count as picking the person up. So yeah, really, really not fond of that. And then there you go. I feel like in the other original Crazy Taxi, from what I remember, it would give you an option to just jump back in and keep trying. Here, it boots you all the way back to the home screen, and you have to like go in again. You know what I mean? Even if I'm wrong, and even if the original Crazy Taxi did make you go all the way to like the home screen and pick the character again, etc., that's still one of those quality of life things that you would hope a game in 2021 would fix, right? But unfortunately, no. After you're done, it kicks you all the way back here, and you have to go all the way back in. So that's pretty lame. So as you can see, that's arcade mode, guys. Arcade mode, does it have that Crazy Taxi feel? Yes. But like I said, it has some issues. Now as for pro mode is like a whole other thing. It's really crazy. You guys will see what I mean in a moment.
Your navigation is out of order. Trust your instinct.
Yeah, so if you guys heard what the little voiceover just said, it says our navigation is broken. So this is what you're supposed to do. You pick up the person, and you're literally supposed to know where to go. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I think that is insane. I don't know how you're supposed to remember where everything is. There is no indicator whatsoever at all if we're close or far, etc. It just expects you to know where to go. So for every person you pick up, you're expected to know where every single stop point is. So this is pro mode, and it's what a lot of the cars and stuff are locked behind this mode, and I just think that is insane. I don't know how you're supposed to remember where everything is with no indicator whatsoever. I think that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Maybe if you play the game enough, you might remember where things are. You might memorize, where everything's at, shortcuts, etc. But for a game that's this cheap and not good quality, I don't understand who's going to take the time to memorize where everything is. Like who is going to play enough to, know where everything's at? Yeah, because like I said, no indicators, nothing whatsoever. There's not even that big red arrow in the sky that shows you're close. Not even that. So this is pro mode. You're supposed to know where everything's at. You're supposed to just drive back and forth, be a pro at it. But I think that's impossible, dude. I think that's just crazy. So yeah, I'm not very fond of pro mode. And the fact that everything's locked behind it, I think that is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, look at me. I'm driving around everywhere. There's not even an indicator about where I'm supposed to go. So yeah, guys, so that's 2 out of 3 modes, and as you can see, I am not very fond of the game so far. However, let's jump into the last mode. Let's give it a shot. As you guys can see, this is the last mode. It is free mode, and honestly, out of the 3 modes, I would honestly say free mode is kind of the best, because you just get to drive around without a time limit. I mean, you still have to drop off the people in a time limit, but what I mean is that you get to play for as long as you want. And yeah, I mean, I guess if you wanted to train for pro mode, then this would be helpful. You know what I mean? Because they would at least tell you where everything's at. So honestly, out of the 3, I think free roam is kind of the best. It's the one that lets you play the longest. It's the one that lets you get used to everything. Like I said, maybe if you want to train. Yeah, look, it's just so exact. I have to be right next to the person, or else I swear it doesn't let count it, which is stupid. But as I was saying, yeah, out of all the modes, free roam feels like it's probably the most satisfying because it lets you actually get used to everything, lets you play for as long as you want, you know, etc. But even then, you know, it's just not that great overall. Because like I said, the game just has so much issues. And the fact that it's $35 for this is not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, even if you, like, take account this mode, it just, like, does not feel worth it. So yeah, guys, there you have it. That was Taxi Chaos. So like I said, I mean, does it have some redeeming qualities? Yes. Free roam, for instance, is pretty cool. I do think that it's probably the best mode because it lets you drive around as much as you want. It does let you get familiar with where things are, I guess, if you really care to play that much and maybe, you know, get ready for pro mode. But yeah, guys, the fact that only one out of the 3 modes is that great is really sad. And then just, yeah, it's just so disappointing because, like I said, the collision's weird, the models are ugly, the fact that they're always talking is really annoying, the fact it doesn't have the iconic music from Crazy Taxi is really lame. And like I said, the fact that this game is $35, I think that is a huge ripoff. I think that is way too much. I think this game, you know, I always try to, you know, kind of, like, I always try to not really, like, you know, argue against indies, and I kind of go, okay, you know, if they're charging a certain price, they know what they're doing, you know, if they're asking for a price, you know, fair enough. But this is one example where I just do not agree. I think $35 is way too much. I could see the game being worth maybe like $10. I think $10 would have been like okay, I guess, but $35 is crazy. You know what I mean? So I don't know, guys. This game is just so disappointing. I was so excited to just dive in and play, you know, Crazy Taxi, or at least something close to it. And instead, it's just this really bare bones just experience. You know what I mean? Like I said, free roam is probably okay if you were able to get the game on sale for like 99% off. I mean, free roam is fine, you know, combined with maybe arcade mode. But yeah, full price for this is just no. So there you have it, guys. But yeah, this has been Weeb Rabbit, guys. If you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you did not like what you saw, then, you know, same thing. Constructive criticism is appreciated. And yeah, guys, this has been probably one of the most disappointing games I played all year, even though the year is like really early. So, you know, try to stay away from the game. But besides that, guys, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.